All right. We are in the right spot. Mark time code for that. All right. Gotta lurk for a while. Okay, Master Sprite. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to explain why we do something because new people come in and then they get confused when we talk about things that we all know but they don't know yet. You know, one of them is obviously the cans of soda and what that's all and why we give out forks and things like that. But I think we're doing okay. But the forks are extra special forks used to eat Viking soda. Because Viking soda has meaty goodness you can eat with a fork. It's silly, but that is okay. We are silly peoples. Sorry, I'm fixing something here on the side real quick. Then we will go talk about my adventures in inventory making, which is a bleeding nightmare. It is not always fun. But we will get there. All right, we got all that is done. Let's delete this. I hadn't heard that or didn't make the connection. No worries. No worries, Dragonfly, Dragonfire at all. I don't know why I said fry, but no, I transpose Y and R. Alrighty then. Okay, so when we last met, let's turn this stuff off. We need to turn the logo off. Turn this on. That's already on. Ah, we have to open the Game Maker Studio do. We have to open the studios. It will be with us in a moment. Then we can also go ahead and open up the directory so we can show the build real quick. Builds. I don't think I updated the build last night when I was messing with it. So I was trying to find a way to put our menu system on the same track as our inventory system on the same level as our menu system. But I haven't figured out how that works yet. So it is causing a bit of a problem, of course, because that's what it does. Close that. Let's bring our game up. But I did adjust a few things here and there. Like I did change the resolution to see if that would help. It doesn't, but it was interesting that it didn't, because I wish I would have tried it at first, but it doesn't much matter. So let's open that. So we are exploring. So you can see that because I changed the resolution of the camera, not the camera, but the game itself, it actually shrinks everything up here in the top. So if we hit that, the menu will be up there. Because now the game itself is in the higher resolution. We just have low resolution art, which we have to change. But we still have this problem here in that if we go to the inventory works, but it does. Oh well, yeah. The inventory works, but it doesn't freeze the game like it's supposed to. So it does some weird stuff. So, but everything does work. All of that. I was trying to find a way to make this all work and lock down the menu, but apparently it didn't. Okay, so And I have a crash, so I'm looking at the crash result here. It says step event, object controller, variable, blah, 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 not set before reading it. So object controller line -1. It must be in the step event. I think because I changed it to, I think it's because I changed it to M instead of I. Let's change this back to I. And let's see, this is for show menu. Yeah, this, because I was trying to figure out how our menu is on screen all the time in the game. But I didn't know that I broke it when I changed it to I. Shouldn't have. Maybe there's something else out there that is using the same command. Hopefully this fixed it. We'll see. Just waiting for you guys to come up. There you go. Should put us here. We'll put us up here in the corner. We'll go back to I for inventory. And it still crashes out. So what did I break? Variable, unknown object. Not set before reading. Let me put this over here so I can see it a little bit bigger. Step event. Okay, it's in the step event. I was right about that. And what line though? If object connector variable unknown object dot spd. I add an object in here that it's not giving me a line number, so object parent, object unknown. Variable. Oh, okay. Because I put this in. Let me take that out. And take this. Take it out here as well, and that should fix it. Because what I was trying to do is put our character speed at 0 so that he couldn't move. What is the one emotion a chicken knows? A chicken has no emotions from its chicken tail to its chicken toes. And though it seems to rise in fear, it is you who will have a tear, for the chicken has no emotions he knows. Okay, so that should fix that. Now it won't crash. At least that's the theory. It should not crash now. Because h speed is supposed to be the speed at which the character itself moves. So my theory was that if I was able to turn the speed down on the character to the point where it was even Dr. Zeus is afraid of these bars. Huh. He's only that way because he has stars on thars. Okay, so now we should be able to do inventory and remove it. Yep, okay, that's all good. But you see our thing here, which is our hearts and stuff. That is what, that level is what I want this to be on. Or that layer. Now this creates a layer for itself. in a different realm of the game somewhere, and I'm trying to find it. So you would think that all you'd have to do is look up hearts, but no, because the pieces are not treated like regular pieces. So if we go to sprites, we'd have to look for the heart pieces, and I don't think that they're stored in the sprite way. I think they're stored another way. But we're going to go ahead and open up all the things and see if we can find it. Here's the player. Here's all of our gods. Here's our townspeoples. Here's our world items. No hearts. What about down here? Any hearts down here? No, that's our incense. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out where are the hearts coming from. I know I put them in there, but I'd have to go back and watch the original videos, go through the 51 videos till I find the one that puts that in. But that's a weekend thing. That's not a weekday figured out thing. That's our bats. Okay, maybe it's just a direct object. We'll find our heart parts. Are they labeled hearts? I don't think so. I don't remember because it was in the tutorial, the 51 tutorial that we did way back when. And I don't think it's named. I did do a search for hearts and nothing came up. So I think it was called something else. And just to show you, so if I put in here in the search, just heart, see, nothing comes up. So it is named something else, but I don't know what. And it might just be something that is in a separate script. And if that's the case, then we would try to let's see, use items, screen, player, throw, player, collision, player, animate, sprite, hurt. Player health. Let's do a search for player health and see where that comes up. Oh, a lot of places. There's little variables for it. Okay, so here's the heart. That's health. That is the thing we are looking for. S health. Draw health, S health. So this is where it's drawn. It only comes up twice. Okay, so the variable is player health, player max, health max. Health fractions, that's all the little pieces of the heart. For I and one player health max, blah, blah, blah. So draw sprite S health. An image index. This draws the coins. This draws all the text for those. Draw item box. Okay, so it is drawing it on S item UI box. No, that's just like if he has the bow or the hook, that's the image that's in that box. Is our ammos, but it's not saying that it's drawing it. Here's our pause screen. I don't know why it didn't. Hmm. Can I just put no, because then this whole screen thing will come up. Yep. Because we wanted to pause, but we also wanted to allow us to keep you. We want to pause the game, but we want to be able to use the inventory system. So right now, I'm just trying to find out where it's drawing. What layer is it actually drawing that on? That is the question at hand. Okay, so this is what it asks for when it's paused. But it's it's consistently drawing it on the screen. It's always in the top left corner. Room equals room title. Visibility false, visibility true. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find, because when we find out where is key active, keyboard check paused out, so that brings up oh. I guess that's how we're gonna but with OGame instance destroy. So OGame, let's go back to OGame and see if there's a it's up here. Alrighty, so these are our game slots. We randomize these and blah blah blah. Target. That's us fixing the all items error that was before. This is just in the background stuff. Okay. So global IUI, instance create layer, is layer OUI. So we want it to so it looks like this is the layer we wanted to use, a layer called OI. So let's see where this is used. We want to put it on the same layer as that. So, oh, this is the only place that is used. Let's see where this one's used. So this creates the instance. Keyboard pressed, yes. Global equals equals game paused, not paused. If game is paused, with all, game paused image speed equals image speed. Image speed equals 0. So I think this is what I was trying to do. Let's try that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and go back to our code for our menu. Where's that? I think I took it out. Oh, it's down here probably. That is you. just pull it up. Object controller. So let's try this. That should be, no, this is, I think we're in the wrong place. Now we'll put it there, see what happens. Game image speed equals speed 0. Then to put it back, okay. And this will put it back. Which we'll put down here. Does this say, oh, caution, instance, variable game image speed declared outside the create event. Okay, so we need to go back down to that and make it in the, put it in the create event. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong. Here's the GUI size, which is based on the resolution of the game, which we will have to do. Oh, it looks like I might have tried this already. Oh well, worst comes to worst, it'll crash. Yeah, it built. Or whatever that is. We'll see if it actually plays though, because sometimes it will build, but it won't play. I'll wait for you guys, so. Okay. It did build. It did load. Let's do that. And it did crash. Okay, controller variable unknown. Game pause image speed. Okay, we need to. Apparently, we need to add that variable somewhere. I didn't say exit. Get back up here. Let's find out where it's declared. Okay, so it's saying that it's not declared, but technically it's not declared down here either. But it's declared here, so do I have to? I just put it in the wrong place. Yeah, show tell then game pause image equals image speed. Image speed equals 0. Oh, I see. It's copying what the current image speed is into game paused image speed. Then it's setting image speed to 0. Then down here, it's taking the game paused image speed and putting it back into image speed. That makes sense. It's better going to refer to function that refers to IO box. Yeah, it should, but it should have still found it. So if we go back to the object IO, then let's see, pause options selected and options. So yeah, so it's not. Oh, let's see what's putting it down here maybe. No, I think that's where we pulled it from. UI, is it putting it up here somewhere? No, because it doesn't show up in the search in here, so. Maybe if I did this, maybe I put this outside. What happens if I just take that and do that? Does it still, yeah, it's still instance variable. And less declared outside the creation. Yeah. Let's do this. Then we'll take this. Take this part here. Take that out. And then we'll go and declare it in here just to get it declared. We'll just say undefined for right now. Because it will define it in the loop. So let's see. Let's see if that saves it or if we've broken it completely. It is highly possible, but nah. Okay, will it build? It build. Okay, it did build. That's sign, good sign number 1. It copied. It ran. Waiting for you guys. Are you very sore? Okay. It didn't crash. Do an inventory. And it crashes. What does it say? Oh, it doesn't like that it's undefined. It is defined incorrectly, so we can't put undefined. Real argument, incorrect type, undefined. Okay, so we'll just do this. We'll okay, I know what we'll do. We will go back to this and we're going to define this as a real. Instead of undefined, we're just going to call it 0. Because I think it's putting in the speed, which is a number. It's not an undefined, it's actually a number, so. I almost hit F5. Almost crashed it all out. Okay, back up here in the corner. Hit I. Ah! It did work. But our guy is still moving around. He should not be able to move around. Okay, probably. Oh, I'm so very sore. Let's see what happens when I do this. Yeah, I say that a lot. I'm betting it's going to refer to tone of function. Refers to the UI box. Bar clearly states self-service. Boop, doop, boop, 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 boop. I got my e-bike and I can go 28 miles an hour on it now, but I am so out of shape. It's exhausted despite not pedaling at all. Yeah, I when I was in the UK, I had an e-bike. In fact, it's in the garage here. And I rode that thing everywhere. I rode that thing all over Cambridge. But yeah, when you first started riding them, you're just kind of going, oh. Even with the motors, you're like, oh, I'm still pedaling because it's pedal assist. It's not like full whatever, but yeah. Yeah, it's moving again. So if I take our guy for a walk, he is moving, it is moving. It's still the exact same thing as before. I love that the trees didn't get grayed out. Because it's supposed to lock the screen down. And then your guy's supposed to stop moving while you're in the inventory. But for some reason it's not. Now let's go back to, let's save this for a second. Let's go back to the original. I don't think we have a way to move around the screen is the problem. So we do a build of this. Okay, so we have all right, so if we bring up the inventory, see, it will not let me move. It completely locks down the screen. And we're using all the same code, but for some reason it's not working. But it is creating an instance. I think there was a thing that we were doing that may be along the right area of thought. Which is down here. I think it's this one. Nope. Open this up just a little bit more. This is why I save multiple versions of everything. Instance exists, oh player. Okay, so it's getting that from, this is the O player's position. This is where the game pauses. But we're not really looking for the game pausing. What we're looking for is This is the whole game, and this is where the pause comes in and out. So we should be able to call that. But if we create an IUI, which is what we created for the UI, if we do something similar for the inventory, which I do have blocked out here because I was trying it yesterday, it actually creates a controller. So yeah, so I don't think it's that simple. It can't be that simple. Okay, display set UI result. Okay, so this is where is this defined at? It's only defined here. Go to room, start room, but interesting. This has to be defined somewhere as to what it is. If we're display set GUI, is this, where are we calling the GUI at? Where's the GUI made at? So that's only this line's only here. We're basically chasing it back. So let's look for every place where OUI is. There's two spots. There's in this line here, and then there's here. So if the keyboard press is escape and instance exists O transition, which is just our transition, which is the thing that goes back. So if we're not in a transition and OUI is not false, then do all of this. What is the conversation going over here? Let's see. I'm going to throw so I don't ever need to pedal. Mine has both. It has the pedaling because it's pedal assist. It's not like a complete motored one. It does it can get up to almost 30 miles an hour, but you do have to pedal all the time. So I really like it because I didn't want, and I did notice what you're talking about is this like the pedaling part is just like, oh my god. Hello, Sparta. I literally just saw Bo going crazy over Ghost, so that gave me a hilarious visual. Cool. Since then, when are whales afraid of ghosts? No, she loves Ghost from COD. Ads was, have you ever seen an Apple and Google Store change is for the game and app dev? What are we making here? I'm still fighting with the inventory, getting the inventory to display on the right level. More gas on him and He's showing us his game dev skills. Really? I'm showing you that it'll be a pain in the ass, but you can learn the things you don't know. It's just there's going to be a lot of trial and error. But for the most part, I mean, we haven't done too bad. You know, from me not knowing how to program games to where we are, I think we've done pretty well. But there is a whole lot of okay, should have thought of that before. I guess at some point we're just going to have to stop and start over from a standpoint of taking all the code we have and just basically rewriting it. Because we still have to, even if we can't figure out how to do this at the moment, and maybe this is what we shouldn't be chasing this right now, but let's go back to take a look at where we at in the game itself real quick. So I may be going down a rabbit hole that I can't solve here, and I don't want to waste that kind of time for you guys. When I say can't solve, which means I can't solve in the hour and a half that we have for this on the show. It may have to be a very long weekend of me kicking myself a lot. We just lost all of our items, so... Okay. Go back to this, it'll probably crash. It did not crash. If we do inventory, will it crash? No, it did not crash. It did not do that, and it's going to make a mess out of this. Yep, I took it apart. So it's still doing that, but that's okay. Because what we want to be able to do now is actually put things into this list. And the way we do that, I think, is if we go over here and we go and we pick up an item, we want to go to the code that we use to pick up an item. So, okay, we can't see anything up there. Let's go down and pick up this one. So we've picked up an item. We brought it over here. It's Frigg. Yeah, let's take a step back. Now what we want to be able to do is pick up that item and put it into our inventory. So let's see how that's done. So we have two pieces of code that put things into inventory. Go back here, and what they are is we have a master list. Okay. Of the master list of items master list. So we want to be able to add items to the master list. So one of the commands that we have to use is add items to master list. Let's grab that. And then we're going to save it over here so that I have it as a reference. Anyways, food ready disappears in the chili jar. Okay. All right, so there's that one, and then we need our full command, second check. If this item, okay, this is all automatic. And I'm looking for the other piece of code, which I believe is add item. Yeah, here's. So this one is the add item to master list. We need the other one. Doop, 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 doop. I think it's all items. Let's go to objects, inventory. Object controller, I don't think this is the right one. Yes, this is the right one. Add items to my items. So I believe the first thing we have to do is this. So if we go to collectibles, managers, collectibles, Or is it? This is if we pick something up. This should be this here. Instant exit player. Player if not. Magnet radius. Speed. Point and direction. Collect. Collect sprite arguments. Blah blah. One. If collect equals -1, script blah blah. Collect script. Collect script args. Okay. Down to scripts. Collect functions. Array, blah, blah, blah. Function collect coins. This is taking the coins and putting them into our thing. So we want to add a function. Let's see, drop items. Function drop items. Liftables, active liftables. Global iLift equals none. Player action out animation. This is bend over, pick it up. Sprite idle. Global lift argument 0. With global iLift. So do we have the money? Yes. Instance destroy active. Yes. So we pick it up. Player item unlocked. Ammo. Blah blah blah. Item equals item plus amount. Okay. Item bow. Bow. Yeah. This is so you can buy it. That's if you don't have enough money. So. So I think our add item play. So those are commands that are used. You add the items to my items, then you take those, the add items, and you add items to the master list. Master list then goes to the inventory. Hydration.
Any nonum says hydration reminder for everyone.
Activate liftable. Basically what we want is we don't want it to lift player action. What would happen if this is one thing they didn't show in the tutorial for the inventory is how to make it when your character picks something up, how to make it go directly into the inventory. So it showed you how to hard code things into the inventory, which you just add to that list. But I'm assuming that your every item has to have this information in it. So when you pick up an item, it automatically finds that information and puts it together. I guess I'm gonna have to find out how that works. There's several things about this I just don't know, and I know that you guys look at me and giggle because it's like, okay, you're failing. Yes, but that's okay. When I figure it out, though, when I finally figure out how it works and how it's done, then we'll be in good shape. It's just me figuring it out, and it's just going to take some time. Is all. Because that's all we want to do is instead of picking things up and putting them over their heads, which we now have, let me just try to drop that code in that section, in the liftable code. That's collectibles, liftable code, dropped items, liftable. What would happen if we just, let me rename this. Okay, so we're going to say we're going to take the information for the one piece, which was up here. Let me grab it here. I have it grayed out. So we'll take this information here. We're going to add this piece into in that code, and we're going to go pick that piece up. So let's take that and bring it down here to the liftable. If global lifted equals none, which means if you've lifted something up, we're going to, I think we have to do the one then the other. So let's put that there. And then this one above it. I think this one would go first anyway, so. Let's see if that will even put it into the directory. You need to go to the, you need to move this, which is piece 1, down here because that for some reason is not showing up, but that's okay. Save. Let's see what happens. It'll probably crash. Won't that be fun? Oh, it did build. That's just a good sign. But yeah, I'll have to look up how to properly put things in the inventory. Okay, that took a while. Okay, so let's go here. Now, if we pick up, if we go to the inventory, it should not be in the, okay, we're not going to be able to see it on the screen. We go to the other screen so we can see it completely. Okay, so if we go up here. All right, we do not have it in the inventory. That is good. Okay. Because it wasn't automatically put in there from the beginning, so let's pick it up. And it crashed. Okay, we have variable my items not set before reading. Okay, back to that again. Yep, that ain't the way to do it. But we got a reaction out of it. Yeah, this is the wrong place for this. Plus, we just have to get that information from the piece that we're picking up anyway. But I also have to wonder if it's, oh, let me do this real quick. Let me put that back. Let's put that back. Oops. All right, we're going to put that back. Then we're going to go to our inventory. Not that one. We want the object. Oh, object. Oh, controller, rather. We want to make this 48, which will open up all the slots. We're also going to take this down, I believe, make that 1, 1, 1, 1. Make that one 2. Make that one 6, but it still doesn't. We'll make it a 2. Okay. So add items to my items, and then we need to also go into. Oh, that should be fine. Oh no, I screwed up. I hit F5, so my screen may lock up for a little while. So we will just have to deal with that. So yay. Okay. Yep, it's locked. My screen is locked. So if we do an inventory, it didn't open up all the slots. That's weird. I should have opened up all 48 slots. Oh, 12, 24.
Devil King Forthin 1287 says, can you still read chat?
Yes, I can still read chat. But I'm frozen on my screen. But you guys have said that even though I'm frozen on my screen, that you guys can still see me. So you can still see it moving. You can still see the screen changing. So I'm going to keep going. But hitting F5 is a bad thing. It's funny because my brain tells me that it can be fixed because it has something to do with how my video card is using the videos. So the driver or the section of memory where my camera for OBS is at, or my display for OBS is at, is being overwritten by the executable created by F5, by the F5. But it's only doing it locally, apparently, which you guys have said. It only does it locally because you guys still are getting me moving on the screen. So it's interesting to me. So there's obviously some setting somewhere for my video card that isn't getting set right. So I just haven't been able to find any documentation on that happening. So I don't know why. All my drivers are up to date, all that stuff is up to date, and then sometime in the next few minutes, it will come back and work. So I don't know why. Technically, it's also making you stronger too. Okay. Oh, you're saying that to someone else. That is interesting. You would think everything locks up. You would think so. But you guys can still see me. If I look on, let me go to the stream. I'm still moving on YouTube. I'm still moving on Twitch. It's just my personal screen that's locked up, and that's good to know. I'm just so happy I'm no longer stranded at home. Oh, cool. I think we ran out of your jokes, by the way, Troy. For the dad joke section. I think we did all yours. Okay. OBS just came back. So OBS is now working again. Like I said, I don't know what's doing it, but it's every single time. Yeah, I liked them. There were a few that people go, "Oh my God, Troy jokes," because they were all about D&D. Or we got through a bunch of them that were all about D&D. Oh yeah, thank you very much for submitting them. And those of you that want to submit dad jokes for our dad joke section, just send me a direct message in Discord. That way we keep them secret until they're actually played on the show. It's D&D. It's D&D. LOL. So yeah, so now my screen is back. And everything's fine. But we do have 22 seconds, it looks like, before ads are going to start. But it's anywhere from instantly to 30, 35 seconds before they actually start, after that timer goes away. So while that goes on, I'm going to look up on Game Maker Studio. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Let's go ahead and download the manual. For not reading the manual, I think I've gotten pretty far. Just saying. Probably if I read the manual or used it, we'd get further, but yeah, let's save this as a place to go. We've gotten this far all on tutorials, basically all on tutorials. I could send you a few Dutch or French, but they don't translate well into English. Well, nothing really does. You know, the thing about zombies is they don't really tell you what they want. You know, they just kind of beat around the bush about it. If they just said, we want this, then maybe it'll turn out well. Are you familiar with the D&D song by Stephen Lynch? I don't know. The reason I say I don't know is because I may have heard it and just don't remember it until I hear it again. So, introduction to Quick Start. Game Maker IDE, Game Maker running settings, assist editorial, Game Maker language, Game Maker. Okay. Available to you in your IDE setting performance preferences, editing your projects and assists. Configuring Game Maker runner. Script referencing. Let's go to Game Maker language. Yep, it's just basically that. Let's look, let me go back here. Instead of going to the manual, let me go Game Maker Studio, code examples. Code examples. Learn how to develop games. Code bank. Share useful code. Let's check that out. We're in a zombie mode, so why not, right? Now let's do a... Can we do a search on this thing? Arrays.
Brains.
Okay, we're back. All right. The DNAs I remember best is when this lady was playing a bard and successfully seduced a lich at the end. Then she liked, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, the last D&D game I played was with Bob Fitch was the game master on it. And I had a 7-foot tall, what was it? He was 7 foot tall, he wasn't good looking. And when he got hurt and fell into a ditch, nobody come to save him because he had no charisma and nobody cared. So Bob Fitch left me dead in a ditch within like the first couple hours or the first hour of the D&D game we were playing. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm dead. And Bob laughed because that's what Bobs do. Okay, let's try this. Let's see what that gets us. Learn how to create an inventory as simple list of items. Display the inventory as a grid. Maybe we overdid our inventory, but we'll try that later today. Okay, inventory object setup. Because we have a list. So what we have to do is we have to find out how to add items to the list. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll depending on what time I get home tonight, after hanging out with Frigg, I will go through and figure that out, and then we won't worry about the screen yet, because that's a whole nother thing. I need to find out how to make a lockdown screen like the one for our UI, or even be able to put our inventory in the UI screen. That'd probably be best. That way we don't have to build another screen for it. So, a bunch of 40-year-olds. Okay. My friends and I are trying to figure out D&D right now. A bunch of 40-year-olds. Oh, cool. Hey, it's never too late to start, you know. But grab one of your kids and have them DM for you once. You know, or have, because one of you guys are interested in D&D, which means that somewhere one of you has to know someone who plays. Invite that person over to DM for you once. It's because the easiest way to win it, or to learn, is to do. And that can be a lot of fun. Oh, and don't worry, they'll make faces at you and do all that kind of stuff because you're lame oldies and all that. But you will learn. You'll have a base of learning to build your own stuff on after that one time they come in and help you out. And then later, when you guys learn what you're doing, then you can actually D&D with your kids or younger people, and you'll have a great time all together. DMing is not hard. It's intimidating. No, it's not hard, but if you've never done it, or if someone in your group has never done it before, it can be very frustrating. You know, because all you're doing as a DM is you're telling a story. But that story has to have a structure and all those things to it in order to be compelling. And that takes a little bit of practice. Yes, you can get a pre-made one, but personal interaction is not a bad thing. I know we as a group, being the old nerds and new nerds, are not very interactive with real humans, but we have to be. D&D gives us that opportunity to do it on a safe and level ground. So, do it. You can do it. Okay, you're gonna put it in Discord? Let me take a look. Should we probably put it in share a link, I'm assuming? Yeah, I'll wait for it to go up. It's not up there yet, unless it's over here. Nope. Apparently people are experiencing weather. Today here it's just hot. Yesterday we had a pretty good storm. Yeah, it got a little bit out of control a couple times, but it's like, okay. But we are safe at the moment. But yeah, well, didn't put the link up. That's no problem. It will come later. I put it in general chat. Okay. Ah. Life of a Bard, is that what it's called? I don't think you guys will be able to hear that. It's got ukulele, so it's got to be good, right? So I need to look at this and see if it shouldn't be coming up. Ah, it is. Let me turn that off. Still coming up. Ah, because I have this setting. I need to put it on headphones. Now it should not come up on your guys's. Okay, cute. Ukuleles. Never wrong. I will take a ukulele over a banjo any day. Banjos just feel like they just are ripping my spine out sometimes. I mean, I know Steve Martin is one of the best banjo players in the world, but dude, I love your stuff, but oh, the banjo thing's too much for me. I think it's because my family's rednecks, and they kind of associate themselves with banjos because they're from West Virginia. I remember the summer I spent there with my great-great-grandparents, and I never found out where it came from, but up in the West Virginia hills, you could see, the banjo would bounce, the sound of a banjo player would bounce off the mountain and come down the pass to where the house was. Never knew where the banjo player was. Could have been miles and miles and miles away, but what is that? Even for that one apology video, the one that people use to joke with nowadays, saying that an apology video without a ukulele isn't a true apology video. Cute. I've never heard that an apology video without a ukulele isn't a true apology video. That's an interesting theory. So we're kind of stuck at this point. I need to do some learning. From the way it looks, two things. I probably need to make a set screen for all of our UI and other things, which we have. I just need to learn how it works. I need to put our inventory into that screen. Once we put that into the screen, then it'll lock everything down the way it's supposed to. Next, I have to modify the code when we pick something up instead of just picking it up and holding it above our heads, it puts it into the list for the inventory. This is me going through what steps are next. So that's where we're kind of stuck right now. Once we have that, we will find the next item that we will be stuck on. But the thing is we do have the list, and this is our list. So what we need to do though is for this here, this code right here, we need to add this to our items. Yeah. And here's what I mean by that. So let's go to the small knife. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. That is funny. I'm on the Twitch screen on. It's one of those days. Okay, so if we go to the knife here, right? What we need to do is we need to go to the object knife. So we go to inventory. These are objects. We want the knife, which is this one. And we want its creation code. So here is the description of the knife. But what we want to do is also add this information so that to add an item, it'll pull it directly from the object itself. So what we might be able to do is just put it as a my items. I don't know, maybe just do something like that, or my items equal. Or let's see, let's do it this way. Just for giggles. We can do something like this. We'll name each object, but in that these are the parameters that it has. So that when we have to put it into our list, these are built in at first. So when we first get it, it uses the sprite, then it's 1, then it's type of weapon, blah, 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 blah. Then I got to remember what this 10 means. I think this one's how many we have. I don't know what this one is. I'll have to look it up. And then it uses the sprite for object knife. So if we have that base stuff, and we'll do a check when we pick something up, if it's already in inventory, is it something that can be stacked? Or is it something that gets its own slot? And if it's something that, actually, if it's all we have to do is really see, is it in the inventory already? If it isn't, add it. If it's a stackable item, we just iterate the number of that we have. If it's a non-stackable item, then it takes up a empty space if we have an empty space. If it doesn't have an empty space, then we tell it that our inventory is full and we can't pick it up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to write out the path for that. Because you can definitely get lost, but having the information in the objects themselves makes sense to me, as opposed to somewhere else. That way, it's readily there. So we will have all this information in here, and we'll call it something else. We'll just have to. What I'll do is I'll break down what these are. So we'll go. We do something like this. We go. So we go knife, name, equals, and then we just say small knife, that kind of thing. I'm going to say flip, and then we go knife sprite. Knife sprite equals Go ahead and put that there for now. And then knife amount equals 1. And then knife type equals weapon. Because as long as we have all this stuff, then we can pull it from here. I think we need that in quotes, but we'll find out later. And then knife whatever. I'm not sure what this one is, so we'll just put question mark. I just have to find out what that number means, and then we'll be fine. And then knife object. So if we set something like this up for every one of them, then we should be good. So let's put this here. And then this there. So we basically have everything that we need. So if we do that for every object, when we put a new object in, whatever, when we grab a new object, whatever, we basically just have that in there. That way right now we're hard coding stuff into the inventory, and we're going to change that. So this information has to come from somewhere. It might as well come from the object itself, because then it's just done and we don't have to worry about it. And it'd be better to write a universal piece of code that would check on these things. Like in the case of a knife amount. So if you pick up a knife, and the first thing we'll do is one of the things we'll do is we'll say, okay, is there one of these in the inventory? Yes. Okay. Is this a stackable item? So whether, yeah, we'll check that first. We'll say, is this a stackable item? If it says yes, then we iterate the number that are in our inventory. If it's not a stackable item, then we add it to the inventory as a different object. That way the knives will stack, or they won't, depending on if we decide to stack knives. Probably won't stack knives, but we will stack things like quest pieces and things like that. But this makes more sense from a standpoint of being able to keep objects straight without having to copy that piece of code everywhere. If we lock it to the item, then we should be all good. I just need to figure out what this 10 was for. I don't remember what this 10 was for. So I may have to go back to the tutorial and look it up. But hopefully that makes sense. So we don't need this anymore. Here's our description, which comes up with the thing. Here's the damage it does, okay? And then these are all just the naming conventions for inventory stuff and naming. And we'll probably use this for other stuff too. But at least that will keep it. If we want to know about the knife, we go to the knife type thing. So that just makes sense to me. And then we can write code that will take this and fill in when we pick something up. So it doesn't matter what we pick up, because it'll read the information from the object itself. Not stacked knives, like throwing knives. Maybe if we have throwing knives, then yes, I think those could be stacked. Weight, maybe it could be weight. Oh, it could be value. Maybe that's 10 gold. Okay, I think that's what that is. Value. We'll just call it knife value for right now. But you do bring up a good point, is weight. And we might as well add them now, right? Knife weight. equals, we'll say 0.02, because we'll deal with it basically in grams just for giggles. Because it'd be kind of interesting. Your point, I don't know if this is the point you're trying to make, but I like the idea that yes, we have a bag that has X numbers of slots, but how heavy is it? Because that could be something that we could do. Okay, weight maybe. Weight would be such a pain in the ass to do. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But we can put it in. We can put it in the data here. It doesn't mean we have to use it. If we decide to use it later, then that's good. Okay, meanwhile, never mind. He is using weight. I just added weight because of the comment. But I think the other one was value, which means it's 10 gold. And here's how we'll find out. Let's load our game back up. Let's see what it was saying. I think it might be the gold. One way to find out. Go into here, go up into the top corner, do inventory, go to knife, which is down here, and it is 10 gold, so I am right. If we open that up, lock it in place, see where it says worth 10 gold? That's what the 10 is. It's how much it's worth.
Brains.
Yeah, I just put the decimal in because it's undefined at this point. But yeah, but that looks like it's how much gold it's worth. That's what that number is. So a good a knife you can sell it for 10 gold, which could come in handy. But if we went by weight, and grams are probably the best way to go by, probably, because it's easier to do them than to use decimal point. But we'll have to figure that one out. Okay, what time is it? Okay. But we will get somewhere. We will make strides. I have to fix that animation. Since I moved it over here, that animation of it coming in and out doesn't work. I thought I copied all the parameters from the sequence for it before, but it doesn't seem to have translated well. It's doing a weird glitchy thing. But that's okay. But if we can get our objects in here, that'd be pretty good. I don't know why it didn't change the number of slots, though. Let's go back up here. Where you at? Where are you at? Nope. Oh, that's collectible. We shouldn't even be in there. Raider, blah, blah, blah. No, it's up here. Nope, not that one. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, nope. That's our pause, but it didn't work, so I need to figure out how to do that again. Nope. No game, it's not in that one.
Brains.
What is this one? Let's just do this. Let's start a new screen on this. Kill that one. Open a new one. Go with controller. We have 34 slots. I believe that there were, let's see. I'm going to say 44. Do a save, do a build. And see if that opens up slots. If it opens up slots, that's basically, I want to make sure it does. So, and then we will go for the day and go to our raiding party. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's pull this up over here. Go in there. All right. Inventory. Yeah, we have way too many objects in there. We'll have to pull some of them out to get some empty spots so we can put new things in. But yeah, it's good to know. So things like the blue gel, you'll see it says 2 items, which means that's stackable. This one's stackable. None of the rest of them are stackable, so they're just using up space. But it'd be we'd go sell them at the blacksmith probably when we start using it. Because I think that like honey should be stackable. I think the weeds that we get should be stackable. Maybe logs stackable, you know, things like that. Things that we're going to be with. Maybe quest items are stackable. You know, but we do have to do things that fill up the inventory. So I just don't like this kind of thing where well, it forces your guy to go sell stuff. So, you know. But yeah, so we will, it's 4 more, so it's 46. 48. Yeah. And then what we can do is just come down here and take all the extras off. Just put 2 of everything in there. And that'll leave empty spots. But we'll also take this information and put them on the actual objects, and then just pull them from the objects. I think that's the best way to go with that. I should leave empty spots. I should leave empty spots, and then we have to give a warning that if we use up all the empty spots, then we can say bag is full, sell something. Doop 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 doop. Yeah, see, so now we have empty spots. Oh, and it looks like we did have some pieces in there. I did not realize. Okay, cool. There are pieces to our fountain. We have 2 pieces 1. We don't need we only need 1 piece 1. It's a unique piece. Are you sure you want to use a decimal? No, I do. I'm not. It's just there for giggles. Actually, inventory goes away. Yep. Okay, good. I thought I had the. Oh, it's down here. That's why. But because we might want to also put a thing in here, added in here for if it's a unique piece. So I think that things like the fountain pieces should be unique items, which means there's only 1 in the game. And then it can also give a warning that if it's a unique item, if you're dumping things out of your inventory, it'll ask you, that's a unique item. You cannot get it back. Are you sure you want to do that? Alrighty, let's go to here. Let us close that window and open this. That's weird. Okay. There we go. Run that. And yeah, I'll change it from a decimal place to something else. I'll just make it like 100 or something. Let me go do that real quick before I forget. Just go to knife, go to create item, and then have it as 200 grams or something. And that'll just be good. And then when we write the code will use whatever. So we're all good. I just changed that in the original code over here. But having that there, because like I said, right now we're just hard coding items into the inventory. We're not actually putting them in there. So we will put them in there and all will be good. All right. Yes, the titles are running. They do that. These are titles for the game section. These are people that have put stuff into the game, or not, but put ideas into the game, who've been part of the conversations, been put some artwork there, have also submitted some concept art or some basic sketches. It's not full concept art, but put some stuff in when we were coming up with ideas and stuff. And so that's why I want to make sure that they're getting credit for those things. So let us now end the game section. Ending game section, going back to